Hey, you're listening to a Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, and this is your host, Grady Hooker. We'll start off with this day in history for the 19th of July. In 1993, WWF had a Raw where the main event was Shawn Michaels defending his WWF Intercontinental Championship against his longtime tag team partner Marty Jannetty, and with the help of Diesel, his new tag team partner, Shawn Michaels managed to retain. In 1999, there was a WCW Nitro, the main event of which was the WCW Championship match. Hollywood Hulk Hogan defended his title against Sid Vicious. Sting and Rick Steiner interfered, but ended up getting scared off by the returning Goldberg. In 2004, there was a WWE Raw. It had a WWE Intercontinental Championship match between two megastars now. Edge retained his title against Randy Orton. In 2009, TNA had a Victory Road pay-per-view. The main event Mafia were on a roll, where Kevin Nash won the Legends Championship off AJ Styles. Scott Steiner and Booker T won the TNA Tag Champs off Bear Money, and Samoa Joe managed to defeat Sting. And in the main event, Kurt Angle locked in the ankle lock and forced Mick Foley to tap out to retain his TNA World Heavyweight Championship. 2010, the Nexus were on WWE Raw, and they were making their presence felt. Sheamus made a truce on the part of the villains with Nexus, but Cena ended up assembling a team to take on the Nexus at SummerSlam, which included Edge, John Morrison, R-Truth, The Great Khali, Chris Jericho, and Bret the Hitman Hart, who they'd attacked a couple of weeks earlier. In 2012, just last year, TNA Impact had a show. They aired a promo to point out that Chavo Guerrero was debuting next week, and the Aces and Eights attacked the two main event competitors in Austin Aries and Bobby Roode to take out both men. Okay, in honor of Money in the Bank that just happened, where our classic entrance theme of the week is Edge's You Think You Know Me.
You think you know me.
That was Edge's theme song, You Think You Know Me. Okay, now you're live back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, and Josh live via Skype.
Konnichiwa.
Before we get on to Money in the Bank, just like to point out something that happened on the Raw before Money in the Bank. The Wyatt family finally arrived.
Wow. That's pretty much all I can say is just wow, because it was so goosebumpy with their debut.
Yeah, it took a while.
I don't know where they're going with this, but I'm so excited because this is so different.
Yeah. They attacked Kane actually so badly that he's no longer in the Money in the Bank All-Stars match.
Some theories are that they have attacked him to re-energize his monster side.
Okay.
Maybe even make him a follower of Bray Wyatt.
Makes sense. Okay, well, starting off with Money in the Bank, did you catch the pre-show?
Oh, yeah, I did. I watched it.
Okay.
The Shield and the Usos tore it up. They went at it and had an amazing tag team match. There were several times when you thought, the Usos are going to do it. They're going to win the tag team titles.
Yeah.
But right at the very end, the Shield, as usual, pulled it off.
Yep. Alright, well, the first match on the actual televised pay-per-view was the World Heavyweight Money in the Bank match with Damien Sandow, Cody Rhodes, Antonio Cesaro, Jack Swagger, Fandango, Dean Ambrose, and Wade Barrett.
When you're right, and I love being right. I said the second they announced this match, Damien Sandow was going to win. I didn't know how, but I had just the sixth sense that the blue case was going home with the intellectual saver of the masses.
Okay. There was a few interesting points. We definitely saw the breakdown of Team Rhodes Scholars.
Yep. We definitely have seen these two take a turn in a different direction.
Yeah, I got to admit, Cody put on a great show for this match.
Yeah. Hopefully, this is the beginning of his rise back to prominence.
Yep.
Who would have thought after what he had went through in 2011 we'd still be sitting here saying Cody Rhodes has never been a world champion.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, straight after that, Brad Maddox came out and had a funny shot of Vicky Guerrero.
This was a rather pointless, but I do admit the video didn't make me laugh.
Yeah.
This was pretty pointless.
It was the only sort of promo backstage segment on the card as well.
Yeah, that's I'm not sold on Brad Maddox as the GM, even though I was right about him becoming it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'll see where Brad goes. I haven't seen him enough to judge him yet. The next match was the Intercontinental Championship match where Curtis Axel took on The Miz.
This was an alright match. I mean, it's nothing special by any means, but I did like when The Miz got Paul Heyman kicked out of the match.
Yeah.
That was funny. I did not like The Miz kicking out of the Perfect Plex.
No, neither. I thought the match was over at that point.
I don't get it, because that was such a devastating move for his father that to my knowledge, only one person ever kicked out, and that was Bret Hart.
Yeah.
It devalues such an amazing move.
Yeah.
From my childhood.
Fair enough.
I did not like it.
Curtis Axel did show his strengths, though, being able to win the match even without Heyman ringside.
That was good. Unfortunately, this was not the last that we saw of Curtis Axel for the night.
No. We'll talk about that later. The next match was the WWE Divas Championship. AJ took on Caitlyn.
This was a good Divas match, but it was nothing compared to the match they put on at Payback.
No.
But it was good.
It definitely suffered from the second match syndrome.
Yes, it did. I'm not sure what it could have done to have made this match better, but it's definitely, I think it's time for AJ to move on and battle with somebody else.
Yep. Okay, well, the next piece was an ad for the new Total Divas show.
Nah.
Pointless?
Pointless again, yes.
Okay.
About as pointless as the 1-800-FELLA ads.
Yeah. Okay, then they showed the kickoff panel. It was quite an entertaining trio with Big Show, Kofi Kingston, and Vicky Guerrero.
Yeah, they had some chemistry together. And I do like these kickoff panel things because it adds a little bit to the actual show.
Yeah, and it makes sure you don't forget about the slightly injured guys like Big Show and Kofi.
Yeah.
Straight after that, Ryback took on Chris Jericho.
This was an okay match. Definitely not one of the best matches on the night.
No.
But it didn't got what it needed to get done because Ryback had not won a match in a year on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but Ryback did win with a roll-up.
Which is fine because that's part of Ryback's alignment. It's not something that you would expect, and it's something designed to tee you off.
Do you think Jericho will come back for more?
Well, he's fixing to go to Europe to be a rock star again.
Okay, so it might be.
I'd say his involvement with WWE probably ends on Raw this week.
Okay. Who do you think Ryback can move on to after Chris Jericho?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it?
$1 million? Ted DiBiase?
If only.
Yeah. Up next was the sort of video package for their new WWE Performance Center.
This center, I think, is going to be very beneficial to WWE. Because I think once the talent goes through that particular center, when they come out on the other end, they will be as ready as they can be to perform in front of the 15, 20,000 fans. They will perform each and every night.
Yeah, it's great for the injured wrestlers rehabbing, getting back. It's great for the NXT guys. It's just perfect for what they need.
And they even have an area for developing announcers and interviewers.
Yeah, with the backstage green screen promo area.
Yeah. So this is going to benefit WWE beyond anything anybody can actually imagine.
Yeah. Thanks, Triple H. Okay, staying with the Money in the Bank theme, the current entrance theme this week is Damien Sandow's Hallelujah Chorus. Okay, we are back with Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0 with Grady and Josh. The next match on the card was the World Heavyweight Championship match, Alberto Del Rio retaining against Dolph Ziggler.
This was a really, really good match between these two. It is brought down just a small half of peg because of the involvement of AJ, but this was really, really good.
Yeah.
Del Rio and Ziggler seem to have perfect chemistry together.
Well, Ziggler has chemistry with almost everyone.
Yeah, Ziggler is he's up there in par of wrestling ability. But Del Rio's no slouch.
No.
Especially when he really wants to be.
It was definitely a weird finish with the AJ taking out Alberto with the title.
This is definitely the end of AJ Ziggler.
Yeah, the power couple.
Yeah, there's no way that this relationship can last past AJ screwing over Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
It's especially with Dolph Ziggler becoming a fan favorite, being cheered by the fans.
Yeah, it's definitely leading into an AJ Ziggler sort of feudy thing, but I have a feeling Big E will probably step up on the AJ side.
Yeah, that's the most logical thing, is that to have Big E align himself with AJ against Dolph.
Yep. Okay, well the last championship match on the card, the WWE Championship, John Cena retaining against Mark Henry.
Two things. One, everybody was shocked that this was not the main event.
Glad.
Two, this was an old school match.
Yep.
The way these two went at it was very old school power wrestlers. This was not going to be it was never going to be a technical spectacle.
No.
That's not either of these guys' fortes. Especially Mark Henry.
Yeah, it was a great power back and forth match between the two of them with an alright ending.
The third thing one thing I did not like about this whole match is the constant Cena can't get Henry up thing that they pulling.
Well,
because we've all seen Cena pick up the Big Show and Edge at the same time.
Yeah, but he's getting old. If Ryback couldn't lift up Mark Henry, then Cena has to at least struggle a little bit.
It doesn't make sense with everything that Cena's ever done.
Yeah.
Last year during his feud with Big Show, he picked up the Big Show.
Yeah.
And Big Show was heavier than Mark Henry.
True. Okay, well, the main event of the night, quite glad it was the main event, was the WWE All-Stars Money in the Bank match, now with Randy Orton, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Christian, Sheamus, and the returning RVD.
This made sure that there was no cash-in for the night.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I had predicted, was that there would be no cash-in.
Fair enough.
And they shocked everybody with the outcome of this match.
Not me.
True.
Picked it. Just look back over the tapes. A couple of shows ago, I said Orton.
Yeah, but that was you being different to everybody else. But yeah, Daniel Bryan turned out to be just overly too predictable.
Yeah, I didn't see Paul Heyman screwing CM Punk over like that.
I did. Because that was the logical progression for the battle.
True.
I told you CM Punk was freaking blind.
Fair enough. But
Uh,
before they took out CM Punk, Axel did take out Daniel Bryan.
which made absolutely no sense.
Well,
Why? Why did they do that?
they were trying to, at the start, they were trying to trick Punk into thinking that they were there to help him, that they wanted Punk to win.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I understand that they stopped. It was to stop Daniel Bryan from actually winning the match.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work.
Fair enough. RVD definitely had the crowd behind him.
Yeah, of course. ECW's Haven.
Yeah.
There were some amazing moments in this match, such as when the part where Sheamus is hanging from the briefcase.
Yeah.
And he gets pulled down by Punk.
Yep.
The 5-star frog splash attempt that failed because RVD got knocked off.
Yep.
Sheamus going through that ladder.
Yeah, that definitely. I thought he was out from that after that.
The Fury that was known as Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
I mean, it was. A lot of people said that this wasn't a good match, simply because their guy did not win.
Yep, that'll be it.
This was a phenomenal Money in the Bank ladder match. The first match was better, but this was a great one as well.
Yeah. A lot of reports of injuries coming out of this match as well.
Let's see here. Punk had 13 stables. RVD had 14. Christian had chipped teeth. Cody Rhodes had stitches.
Yeah. Not sure if it was anything, but Orton definitely landed hard on that knee.
Yeah. It didn't. I don't think it seemed to really hurt him that much.
Yeah.
He did manage to climb the ladder and secure the briefcase.
True. We've seen people just drag themselves up the ladder, though.
Yeah. Which is what Punk was doing before he got hit by the ladder from Heyman. Which was vicious.
Definitely. That's what gave him the cut?
Yeah.
Okay. That pretty much rounds out Money in the Bank.
Well, Money in the Bank wasn't the only pay-per-view in wrestling this past weekend. This little independent promotion in Florida, which is specific for women's wrestling, put on an internet pay-per-view on Friday night. That was an absolutely fantastic show. If you haven't heard of or checked out Shine Wrestling, you really need to, because these ladies are absolute fantastic wrestlers. They put on some of the best matches I've seen all year. Whether it was Mia Yim versus Leva Bates, Iva Lise, which was on TNA during the Gut Check. She had a great match with Mia. There was an amazing match between Soraya Knight, which is Paige's mother, versus Jessica Havoc. The main event was to crown the company's very first champion. Former TNA knockout Rain versus Mia Yim. This was an amazing match as well, and Rain became Shine Wrestling's very first champion. And I want to really give a real applause to all those talented ladies that put on that show.
Okay. And if you look a few shines back, I'm pretty sure New Zealand female wrestler Evie travelled over to the States and also did a few Shine tapings.
Yes, she was on I think Shine 9.
Yeah. Okay, we got a little bit more time. A favourite classic wrestler of yours has recently had some interaction with WWE.
Some say hell is frozen over. Because apparently the Ultimate Warrior is, at least in some form, back with the WWE.
Yep.
Even if it is in a video game form.
Yes. You can unleash the Warrior upon WWE 2K14.
I still want to hear his theme on WWE TV, just because that would be the ultimate moment for me. But I am happy that at least this can get the discussion going, because I'm of the mind, because of the impact he had in the 90s, that Ultimate Warrior should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, though. I know other people will scoff at that and say, no, he doesn't belong. But that's my opinion, because he was, beside Hogan, he was the top star in WWE during his initial run with the company.
Yeah, it's great to see the madness actually at least included by WWE and not being completely shunned out. You never know, he might come on to WWE TV later on when they're trying to promote the video game.
It's possible. But it's something for me personally to look forward to.
Yeah. Okay, if you're looking forward to SummerSlam, what do you think of the 3 main events that have sort of been laid out?
This is very interesting because we all know Lesnar versus Punk is going to be the main event of the match.
Yeah.
That will happen.
Whether it's the last match or not.
Yeah, that will be the match everybody will be looking forward to. The match that I want to happen, that seems likely to happen, is for the WWE Championship. I want to see John Cena versus Daniel Bryan.
You always want to see Daniel Bryan in the main event.
Hey, I'm a fan. I admit it. I am a fan. But this match, to me, could have a huge impact on Daniel Bryan's career. Can you imagine how the crowd will react if he actually beats John Cena?
Can you imagine how the crowd would react when then Orton came down and cashed in on Daniel Bryan?
You might have fans jumping the rails if that happens, because that will be... Randy Orton may not be safe in Los Angeles.
No, he'll grab that title and he will run. He will run straight to the plane. He will just fly out back to St. Louis.
But that is something. I can't wait to hear what the crowd will do when Bryan wins the championship. I'm not necessarily saying he wins it at SummerSlam, just when he wins the championship.
Okay.
I think they will put the crowd reaction from when Ziggler won the World Heavyweight Championship after the Raw after WrestleMania to shame.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to birthdays this week. The first birthday this week was X-Pac, former WWE and WCW wrestler. He was in D-Generation X and he turned 41.
Next up, WWE Hall of Famer, class of 2012, the man of 1,000 masks, Mil Mascaras, and he turned 76.
Former WWE wrestler and current trainer Joey Mercury turns 34.
Former WWE wrestler, ECW champion Bobby Lashley turned 37.
Current TNA ring announcer Jeremy Borash turns 39.
Former WWE, WCW TNA wrestler, current TNA producer Al Snow turned 50.
Current TNA's head of promotion for the Indian TNA offshoot, Jeff Jarrett, turned 47.
Current Aces and Eights member, Mike Knox, turned 35. Also this week, the current TNA World Heavyweight Champion and Aces and Eights member, Bully Ray, turned 42.
Both 3MB members, Jinder Mahal and Heath Slater, turned 27 and 30 respectively.
Any of you slapnuts?
Are you talking about us?
What does everybody need? What does everybody love?
These interruptions are getting weirder and weirder each week.
Is that smug look on your face is concerned? If I was you, I'd wipe it off.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry, Heath, you were given your chance. That's it for this week on Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0. You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling R Radio. And I'll see you next week.